To avoid fainting, keep repeating. It's only a movie. Only a movie.
I said, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
We have such sights to show you.
Last summer, after the crowds left, 5 strangers returned to the woods to uncover the truth. But one of them has a secret that will unlock the curse.
You know, if you don't believe in the Blair Witch, then why the hell did you bother to come?
I thought the movie was cool.
Welcome back to another episode of Double Screecher. I'm Karina.
I'm Dakota.
And we're coming at you with 2 sequels to a very popular and famous movie from the 90s. Why don't you tell the people what we're talking about today, Dakota?
Today, as you can see behind me, we are going to start with Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Yeah.
A questionable order of words for a title of a movie. We're going to follow that up by Blair Witch, the 3rd installment of the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do you want to have
No.
any notes? No? Okay, cool.
Do I have any notes? No, I don't specifically have notes. I have, you know what I wish is I got one of those. I have a half of a warm strawberry bubbly to drink for this next hour
Fuck
of
yeah.
content.
Dude, you fucked up. You should have got like a glass of water or some shit.
There is a good chance I'm going to leave you stranded in the middle of the episode and have you feel the dead air.
That's fine.
Okay.
I could do some dancing in front of the webcam.
Well, don't get us pulled off of
I didn't mean like fucking take my clothes off dancing.
Well, you know, don't do any TikTok dancing either, because I think that's about to get nixed as well.
Well,
But you can put it on Instagram Reels.
all right, whatever.
We're getting real topical today on Double Screecher. We're talking about hard-hitting news stories. Will Trump take away TikTok? Will Microsoft buy it? Is Instagram Reels going to be any good? This and more on Double Screecher.
I would use Instagram Reel.
I looked at it. I mean, you know what's stupid is like I mean, obviously it's a ripoff of TikTok, but like TikTok in itself is like you could already do that on Instagram or on Facebook.
Yeah.
You could do what TikTok does anywhere. I don't know why TikTok is like.
Well, the video editing stuff is really cool, I think. The transitions and the music and then the effects. I mean, I like that about TikTok.
Okay. Hey, fair enough. To each their own. Informational data suck. I prefer Facebook and Instagram, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not. Anyway, I'm not.
So, what do you
caught
think
up
of
on
Blair
this.
Witch? Would she like TikTok or would she like?
Oh, okay. Well, if we're talking about the Blair Witch in Book of Shadows, she would love TikTok because she already does
The fucking dance.
Dude, how many times do we have to see that dance? This movie was not scary literally because of that scene. I'm like, what is this? What is this? I don't get it. I don't.
All right, we'll get to her, but we should start at the top. So before we get, are we doing spoilers on this, or should we?
Yeah, fuck 'em.
Okay, yeah, you had like
At least on the second one, maybe we'll be a little bit more cryptic on Blair Witch because that's much newer.
I mean, it came out like 5 years ago.
4.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, 4. So it's even newer than you thought.
By a year. Excuse me.
365 days.
So Blair Witch 2, I like how it starts off because it starts off like how the Blair Witch Project, when people were like promoting it and shit, like the filmmakers, they were making it seem like it was real, and it was like one of the first like most visited websites back in the day. And
yeah, they're kind of going over the actual lore of the Blair Witch, which is very similar to, by the way, last week's episode, Grave Encounters.
Yeah, no,
2.
I got so many. I feel like Grave Encounters 2 did what this movie was trying to do, but succeeded.
Yes.
Whereas this movie, they were like...
And it stayed more true to the first one. This movie is a complete departure.
Yeah, like, well, I'm saying, like, the first 10 minutes of this movie, or I don't know if it's 5 or 10, but the first part, I just wish that was the whole movie like that, you know? Like,
when you're like finding out about everything that happened post the movie, the Blair Witch Project, and everything that happened in the town, and even I'll even say, even like the first 20 minutes of our cast being in the woods, I liked that.
Yeah.
I think this movie I think the fact that the main setting of this film takes place in some like old doorknob factory or whatever it is, just changes the tone in a fundamental way that, like, even if the movie was better made, it just wouldn't fit the vibe of the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like they should have stayed in the woods more, because that's really what like a Blair Witch movie is. Also, they detached themselves from the found footage shit. A lot of this movie is they have found footage at the beginning, sporadically a little bit, not too much like during like the middle of the film, and then the end I think has some like security camera footage and shit like that.
Yeah.
But they stray very far away from the found footage formula, which is like, I feel like it's a downfall of this movie, because they should have just kept going with it, and that's why there wasn't really any more found footage movies until Paranormal Activity, and then that's what set that shit off.
Right. I mean, yeah, we had like, I mean, I'm not gonna say absolutely, because I'd probably be wrong, but yeah, I mean, I feel like, so this movie came out in
99?
2000 or 99, you know, these years, you know, but anyhow, you know, so you have like at least 10 years before Paranormal Activity comes out, right? Is that 2011?
Yeah, I think it was like 10 or 11.
Yeah. So this movie, well, the Blair Witch, like, obviously incited found footage films, but maybe was the critical reception of it being found footage bad? I feel like that's why people loved the Blair Witch.
That's why people liked it, and also it was more of like the publicity by it, because like it was the same shit with like Cannibal Holocaust back in the day. Like, people thought that was real, and they like sent the director to court because they were like, you need to prove that this lady, you didn't really kill this lady.
Yeah.
You know? So like this was like the second biggest one. This was like more mainstream, I feel like. And yeah, because of the internet. So I feel like they really fucked up by just trying to abandon that randomly in towards the beginning of the movie, basically. Well,
if you remember the title, one of the like title cards of the film says in 2000. Oh no, wait, hold on. That's Blair Witch. Hold on. Wait a second.
Are you reading the wrong shit?
No, well, I'm going to say what I was going to say, because like I could be mixed. I mean, these movies are very similar. Okay. I got the year wrong, but there is a thing at the beginning of the movie that says this is a dramatization of what happened. Meaning,
they're trying to pass it off as it happened.
Meaning, what we're watching is fiction, but it is a recreation of events that happened. So it was their way of skirting around the fact that it's not found footage. They're saying, well, it also was real. It was real, but to make it look better, we filmed it with actors.
Oh well,
right? I think that was at the beginning of the movie.
I don't know. I don't remember that, but that's really dumb if that is what happened.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it was just their way of being. Hold on, let's see. I'm looking at the IMDb page right now just to see if I'm making that up.
Well, the town of Burkittsville, where the Blair Witch took place, in this movie is a real town, and they have like a cool part in the beginning where they have like these dumpy ass looking like townspeople being like, well, ever since that damn movie came out, we got all these crazy teenagers and tourists. They come in here, but I sold them pile of rocks from my backyard. Like, you know, like it's like become like a crazy tourist shit. Like how people visit Ed Gein's like farm and the fucking like
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy's
right.
Yeah, all that
house.
shit. Yeah, his house. And so some of the townspeople are like, yeah, it's not that bad. We're making money off this shit. And then other townspeople's like, they need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like there's like a scene with like the sheriff like shooing a bunch of people.
The sheriff in this fucking movie.
Out of here. I mean, he is such a quintessential like sheriff kind of guy.
Dude, his act.
Oh boy.
Oh, we'll get to him. But he's hilarious. So there's this guy. His name is Jeff, and
His name is Jeff.
And what was up with that? He like went to a mental institution for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think they really explain why he was crazy, but he was in a mental institution. He had a bad time there. He gets out and starts selling Blair Witch merch,
Yeah.
right?
So he's got like mugs, hats,
Sticks, dirt.
stick guys, and then he has like he wants to start doing the Burkittsville Blair Witch Woods tours, like taking people out there.
Taking it to the next level.
Yeah. So he gets this van, and so he gets like a group of people. There's like boring white guy and his girlfriend.
Yeah, they're like
Steven.
paranormal researchers.
Yeah. That guy's supposed to be like, I don't know, a young person, because everybody in the movie is supposed to be like, what, like 27, 28 probably.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, sure.
That's what they all seem like. This guy acts like he's like 58 years old throughout the whole shit. He's like, hello, my name is Steven. Get it together. I forget the name of his girlfriend.
Erica.
No, Erica's the witch. The Wiccan.
Oh, Tristan.
Tristan. Erica is a Wiccan, and honestly, I fucking hate her so much.
She is so
Extra for
90s in the whole movie, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, she took this role and was like, well, I wanted to be in the craft, but I guess I'll settle for Blair Witch 2.
She's like, witches are blah, 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 this and that. And she's like, I don't know, just saying cornball, like edgy-ass, like 90s shit that made me want my eyes to like roll all the way to the back of my head. And then I thought at first that I hated Kim. Kim is the goth one.
Yeah. Who also should have been in the craft.
Yeah. I mean, I actually like Kim.
She's all right, yeah.
At
she's
first,
cool.
I like hated her. And the first time I saw this movie, I hated her too. I was like, dude, this girl is such a fucking edgelord for no reason.
Such a trope of goth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of eye rolls, smoking cigarettes. Fucking, yeah. So, like, we get introduced to her because they go pick her up at a fucking cemetery. And
Yeah. And
she's just like laying on a tombstone.
I can't stand it anymore. They're like, why, the spirits? No, I've been walking all day. Or
Yeah,
some shit
some
like that.
bullshit. So at first I'm like, okay, we got 2 obnoxious ass characters, 2 boring ass characters, and some crazy guy. So then they go to the woods and they walk over there, and then they're gonna camp out. And they like set up equipment and all this shit. And this other tour group comes in, a rival of Jeff's. And they got like 4 other tourists, and they're like, get out of here, this is our spot. It's like, no, you guys go over here. So then they go somewhere else, but I'm just like, you can't just show up at a spot that people been at for like 4 hours.
Right, this is our spot. Yeah, that was very weird. Like, I get it. Like, you want to be the premier tour service or whatever, but
They show up early, bro.
and it's just a bad look to be like, all right, hold on, tour, just let me handle this, and then just be a complete asshole in front of all these paying customers. Like,
yeah, and people came from China and like Germany.
yeah.
And then
So the people on Jeff's tour group are like, oh, Coffin Rock, yada yada yada, super scary, and they convince the tour people to like go to Coffin Rock.
yeah. So then they all get really fucked up, and they're all drinking and shit. And then Tristan's pregnant because Kim, the goth girl, is not just goth. She's fucking psychic. And that's when I was also like, oh, God, fuck this bitch. She's like, how long are you? And then the girl's like, 6 weeks. She's like, are you going to keep it? I was like, damn, Kim, is that really
Dude.
your fucking business?
So she's
Like,
psychic and
Intrusive as fuck.
oversteps her boundaries. What the fuck?
Are you gonna keep it, bitch? I don't know you. Like, what?
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And yeah, it's so. I mean, there are these moments where the plot would probably completely stagnate without Kim having these psychological these psychic powers. If she didn't have these, they would have never found the footage of what really happened the night that they were in the woods and all this other stuff. And it's so well. That's kind of
and she
jumping
also
ahead,
keeps
but-
having like visions of. You can't see nobody's face. There's victims and then there's like murderers, and it's like a group of people getting murdered and it's like a group of people murdering, and you just see like people cutting shit.
Yeah, they show the same murder scene like 20 different ways throughout the film as different inserts. Like, yeah, somebody like tied up to a tree and somebody getting like a knife like stabbed in them and like twisted around and whatnot. And it's like, all right, I think I got it after the first like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and it happens random as fuck. Like it's just like somebody's like drinking coffee, and then they're like, it's like, why are you gotta put that shit in there? You maybe if they did it, like you said, once or twice,
Yeah.
and it was like Kim having the vision, but it's just like randomly like popped into the shit.
So they wake up in the morning and all of their
Research.
camera equipment and research is all trashed.
Yeah.
And they assume that the other tour group did it.
Yeah, because they were like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah, because they were all assholes to each other for no reason.
Right. Yeah, like the guy's like his work.
My work.
Boring Steven. I'm gonna call him Boring Steven. Yeah, he had all his research on pieces of paper. And then I'm like, dude, put that shit in a computer. What are you talking about? And then that's what his wife said, or his girlfriend. She's like, it's okay, Steve. We backed up the shit on our laptops. And he's like, that wasn't really anything. I just put notes in there. So fucked. I'm like,
It's 2000. Computers don't do shit. So, and then we got Kim being like, look in the hole.
yeah,
Look in that
hole over
hole
there.
over there.
They're like, how do you know? She's like, I just know. And she's got Kim though. I'm not gonna lie, is a fucking smoke show, for real though. Like, I thought she was hot.
I thought the witch was hot.
Oh, the other witch. I don't know. Her personality bothered me to the point where I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, no, Kim's personality is great. I just maybe, you know.
I think it was the big eyes, like the big blue eyes.
She did, but she was just caked in like Misfits makeup.
That's true.
Like, I don't know. It just seemed like she. Listen, I'm not here to comment on a woman's appearance. This is a horror podcast.
I digress.
Well, actually, you see. So they find all of the tapes. Everything that had been filmed thus far.
Yeah, and then they all go. This is okay. So this whole shit, by the way, does not happen found footage. This is like real camera movie filming. I don't know, Dakota. You use your technology.
This is all like I don't think it works for video, but yeah, this is all like still cam. Like there was a produced people there.
Yeah,
it wasn't them filming each other or anything.
So then they go to Jeff's house.
Yeah.
And he lives in a, what'd you say, a doorknob
factory? No, it is something dumb like that.
It's like a big, stupid, like 3-story, like abandoned factory. And he said it was from the Civil War.
It's old. It's old. Yeah.
And he's like, I got it for $1. And so there's like a bridge. He's like, this is the only way in or out of the building. I don't he didn't really talk like that, but that's how I like to give his voice, because he's one of those guys. So, all right, everybody, let's go over this bridge. And then they like open the door and they go inside, and it's like a fucking dump. And he's got like camera equipment and all this shit. And this is where the movie starts to lose me.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to see. I'm going to keep calling it a doorknob factory. It is like it might be a door factory.
A door factory?
Yeah, like they make doors.
Like Monsters Inc.
Like doors have to be made somewhere.
Oh yeah, true.
It doesn't matter what. But anyway, so like I mentioned earlier, I think if they just stayed in the woods, even if like you didn't like the acting, you didn't like this, you didn't like that, at least it would have the same vibe as the first Blair Witch. But they go to this doorknob factory, and let me say,
That is so funny.
which as a set piece is cool.
Yeah.
They should have just whoever owned that set should have just waited for a different
Different
movie
movie.
because it was a cool, this big 2-story loft space. So they go back there so that they can watch the tapes, and they watch them and they're like, okay, this is weird, or like nothing looks that weird here. And then they see like for a split second the footage goes from like 1:30 a.m. to like 3 a.m. and then back to 1 a.m. They're like,
yeah, like it's like skipping time.
Yeah.
It's like skipping like 2 hours or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. So and then I think Kim comes in again and is like, watch them backwards.
Watch them backwards.
Watch the tapes backwards.
Watch the tapes backwards. Why? Bitch, did you not understand that I was right the first 2 times? Just listen to me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then they like play they're like, can you like slow it down? He's like saying like, maybe if I make the frame rate more slowly, I can like, I don't know. He says like a bunch of shit, like technical mumbo jumbo to make it sound like he's doing a lot. It's like literally all you're doing is slowing down the video. Why do you have to like use
This is before they watch the tapes backwards, but they see that there's one single frame of Kim?
Yeah. Well, they
No.
don't know it's her yet. No, not Kim. Erica. They just see like a naked chick, but it's too blurry to see who it is.
No, they find out in that scene.
Oh yeah, and then she's like,
I didn't do it.
they're like, it was you. You fucking destroyed all our shit and is naked dancing for no reason. You crazy bitch. And she's like, I use my witchcraft for good.
Yeah, and sure it's never really proven that she doesn't, but they are very skeptical, and I think with that scene kind of marks the twist in the movie where they're not the twist, but like the turning point where they are now stuck in all of their neuroses, and they start becoming very susceptible to all of the witchcraft that's going on, I would say, right?
There's a lot of fake outs. Pointless, stupid fake outs. And it happens a lot. And I fucking hate fake outs, bro.
What do you mean by fake out?
Okay, so Erica, the witch girl, the Wiccan, and Boring Steven, they're like sitting at the table, right? They're sitting like far apart. They're just hanging out. All of a sudden, Steven's like, oh, Erica, you're so fucking hot. Even though my girlfriend's over here, let's start making out. So then they start making out, ripping off each other's shirts. It's going on for a minute, and you're like, damn, this guy's an asshole. And then he has like Blair Witch symbols carved into his stomach. He's like, what the fuck? She's like, it's okay, I have them too. She like rips off her, like, she like shows her tits, and there's like shit on it. I don't know, maybe I made that up. But then they're all like, oh yeah, and then they're just sitting across from each other again.
Right before that like it's either hallucinate. It's like a shared hallucination.
Yeah.
But she does like claw.
Oh yeah, like his skin out.
Claw his stomach, and he's like, and then he wakes up or comes to or whatever.
Yeah. Then the hallucination is over, but it's just like, okay, that's fine if you do that one time, I guess. But like every single like scary thing that happens, it didn't really happen. It's like
for the most part,
for like a while, bro.
Well, yeah, but then like later on, you have Erica's the witch. You're saying, right? Erica's the witch.
The Wiccan.
The Wiccan. Like she straight up disappears at one point, and that's like that really does happen to them.
Yeah.
And the Tristan starts going like super bonkers. kind of like talking to herself and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
And
she's acting like a crazy person. She's like, the children. Oh my God. And then boring Steven's like, Tristan, I get it. You had a miscarriage. Slaps her a couple times. Stop acting like a crazy bitch.
yeah, wait, I thought,
Oh, yeah, we missed that part. So
where's in the river?
in the woods,
Yeah. Oh.
the day they leave the woods is because they have to leave after they find the tapes because Tristan has a miscarriage. And I'm like, maybe it's because you drank like 17 beers and a bottle of wild turkey last night. Like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen?
Hey, if that's what gives you a miscarriage, count me as having a miscarriage every mucking day, Bob. I'm gonna take that off. All right, I'm cutting this out. We're done. We're done here. We're done here. Yeah.
Holy shit, that was horrible. And I laughed.
I know my audience of one here. But so I mean, things really start spiraling out of control.
Well, this is when we meet the sheriff because they take him to the sheriff house, the cop house.
Oh, yeah. Wait, hold on. No, well, it's not. It's
police station.
Hold on. I was confused by this too. That doesn't. He is at the hospital, I think, but the movie has scenes intercut throughout the whole film of them being interrogated by the sheriff. Mm-hmm. So right after the miscarriage, we have a scene where Jeff is getting interrogated by the sheriff. That actually happens much later, though, because I noticed, I was like, fuck. Like, is he onto them already, or what's going on here? You could see he's wearing like a slightly different outfit. All that's to say is that throughout the whole movie, like we know that something bad is gonna happen because the sheriff's like, I know you fucking did it. Yeah. I know.
Listen here,
did
boy.
it. Tips, hat. Yeah.
Dude, his accent is so funny. He's like, listen here, boy. I know it was you that killed them tourists in the woods.
So, all right. Let's spoil this movie real quick because we're running out of time here. So, what the fuck? How the fuck does this movie end, Karina? How the fuck does it end?
Basically, the force of the Blair Witch is very vague. Everybody had. Oh yeah, the fucking. I was watching it with Austin, and he was like, "Look what I can do."
Yeah.
Because they keep they keep seeing a vision of a little girl, and like some Samara ripoff, basically.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be scary, so when you first see her, like, oh shit. But then she starts like dancing backwards, and
she just. If you're not watching live on the live stream, she
shoulder
is
shimmy backwards.
Shoulder shimmying and moving her arms. In backwards, just moving backwards. It's like if she just stood there, it would have been scary. But as soon as she starts moving, I'm like, I'm not scared. That's funny. That's dumb and funny.
We were fucking like peeing our pants. That shit was hilarious, and it happens like twice. And then Erica does it in the woods when she's naked.
She does. Oh my god, it's so bad. So we find out that. Just like when they were in the woods, when they lost time and have no memory, that the spirit of the Blair Witch has overcome a group of, most of them, minus Tristan, and they become murderous.
Yeah.
This group of people murdered the people at Coffin Rock.
Yeah, so that's what those visions were, the cutting people getting cut.
Right. And they all boring Steven murders his wife Tristan. Mm-hmm. When you see it in real time, it seems that she is the one like, I am possessed, I am scary.
Like, fuck you, boring Steven, you're so fucking boring.
Right. I didn't want this baby anyway.
And then she like puts a rope around her neck. She's like, fuck you. And then boring Steven is like, no. And then she like gets pushed off and gets like hung. But then they have like videotapes. Because they were filming it for proof. So when they get caught, they could be like, no, these people were fucking with us. Then at the police station, it's like, oh yeah, Jeff, we looked at your precious videotapes. Look what we found.
Look what we found. We found that you're guilty.
And then they show like what really happened and what had really happened.
What had happened was
Jeff killed Erica. He
Yeah.
like had sex with her or something, and then he like killed her, and then he like shoved her in the closet. And he was like, "Leah." Tristan was never crazy. Everybody else was crazy. In real life, she was like, "Why are you guys dying us today? I don't get it. It's boring, Steven. You're not really acting boring right now. You're acting crazy."
Kim kills a convenience store clerk with a nail file.
Because they didn't want to sell her beer because she's too creepy and weird looking.
Which is, maybe they had it coming.
Yeah, fuck.
Maybe
I mean,
they had it coming.
she did like. Yeah, so when we watch the movie, it looks like Kim just kind of like flicks her, like "fuck you."
Yeah.
And then in RL, she like stabs her
In the throat.
in the throat.
So, yeah.
So
I mean,
basically, they're fucked.
That's the movie. They're the killers the whole time, but it was at the, behest or at the doings of the Blair Witch.
Yeah. They should have left after the research was destroyed. Why did they even go back to Jeff's house?
They hung out at that guy's house way too long.
Yeah, and they were all hanging out like it wasn't a tour. They were hanging out like they were a bunch of friends, like
Yeah.
on a trip. None of these people fucking knew each other.
None of them knew each other.
Except
Well,
for Tristan and Boring Steven.
Yeah. I found it to be bizarre. Karina, would you recommend this film?
Yeah, get yourself a buddy.
Okay.
Watch it. It's free on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking stupid. But it's still very entertaining.
Yeah. I will piggyback off that and say that when I first saw this movie as a youngster, it confused me. It had nothing. My mind couldn't handle the fact that it was nothing like the first movie.
Well, I think that's why it did really badly.
Right. And good. It should have done badly. But when I watched it for this show, while it had a lot of problems, and was not that great, it was certainly something that you could watch with a group of people. It's kind of lighthearted. It's not that scary.
Yeah, it's very just looking at all the technology from 20 years ago that's in this doorknob factory is pretty funny too.
Well, but I don't know. I guess also like part of the reason why I would say watch it is it's fun for the era. It has that late 90s.
Oh, the soundtrack is great.
Dude, I meant to talk about. Thank you. You don't get hard rock in movies anymore, ever.
It opens up with Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. Disposable teenagers, I believe is the track. And yeah, the soundtrack is all just hard rock, which is jarring for nowadays because that doesn't happen. Maybe in action movies you'll get something kind of like rock and roll, but like, I don't know. I think if I told like a 15-year-old, like a teenager to watch this, they would. I don't know what they would expect. But if you want to throw back to the late 90s, watch this or watch I Know What You Did Last Summer because
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to rewatch that.
Maybe you'll have a better time because it's a better movie. Okay.
All right.
I think we did it.
Yeah. That's Blair Witch, Book of Shadows.
It's free. Check it out if you're bored.
What is that?
The guy who uploaded this video said it was from a tape he found in the Black Hills woods. I think that might be my sister.
You really think your sister could still be out there after all these years?
So, movie number 2 is it's just Blair Witch.
It's just Blair Witch.
Because this is a 2015, 16 movie?
I believe this one is 2016.
Yeah, and ever since I don't know, like it's been a trend for the last few years that movies don't name their sequels with numbers anymore. They just like name it the original one, but like add a letter or take a letter off.
Right, like Fast and the Fast and Furious is like number 7 in the series or something like that.
Yeah, it's
or 4. But the point being, they can't just. At some point, numbers went out of style.
Yeah, so I mean, thank God there's only 3 of these movies because it's pretty easy to keep them all together. But
yeah. Also, let me just make fun of Book of Shadows one more time. It's called Book of Shadows.
There's no Book of Shadows in the movie.
And then it's called Blair Witch. It should be The Blair Witch Project 2, Book of Shadows.
Yeah, not Book of Shadows. Blair Witch 2.
Yeah.
And there is no Book of Shadows. When the fuck did they have a Book of Shadows in the movie? There was no book.
There was no book.
There were no shadows. No.
I mean, there were shadows, but they weren't even like moving shadows. They were like regular shadows.
Yeah, there's like no shadow person or nothing. There's no like grimoire or some shit. Like
They don't read from anything?
No.
Okay. That's a bummer. Why would you do
They should have called it Doorknob Factory. Blair Witch 2.
Woo! Yeah, they should have. So, all right, let me just say right off the bat, this movie's better.
Yes.
Right? Would you agree?
Yes. Actually, this movie is pretty good. I went to go see it in the theater because I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. It's going back to the Blair Witch Project formula, which it's all
Found footage.
found footage. It's pretty scary. We actually did a live. Oh, we didn't live stream our reactions, but we did record ourselves watching the movie.
Yeah, I expect over the next week or so.
Like a 5-minute clip of us screaming.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of gagging. There's some gross shit in this movie. There's a lot of feet. There's a lot of, yeah. And they like, because they're using like the mics from like handheld cameras, you know, it's all like, it sounds like that kind of audio. So whenever there's like a, I'm just like, oh God, I hate it.
Yeah, if you like feet, this movie's for you. If you don't like feet, you're gonna be scared.
You're gonna be grossed the fuck out.
Yeah.
So this one, I feel it starts off stupid with the logic because it's Heather from the first movie. It's her baby brother who was 4 years old when Heather went missing, but now he's like what, like 22 or 23, like young adults. And he's like, my sister is still in those fucking woods, and I'm gonna go find her. I'm like, why? I mean, she could still be there, like her bones. But she's not there. What the fuck has she been doing this whole time?
Yeah. And I will say, so this, you know, I would call this this is more of a direct sequel to the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, they don't really mention anything about. They make one reference to Book of Shadows, and that's
Really?
Coffin Rock.
Oh.
They mention Coffin Rock.
But I bet you, and I haven't done my research, but I bet you Coffin Rock is brought up in the first one.
Oh, I don't know. I watched the first one like 2 years ago, so I don't remember.
But I bet you.
Baby, I was throwing fucking Book of Shadows a bone.
You were trying to, but I just don't want to give them any undue credit because, yeesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, like you said, you know, it's a group of people looking for the girl from the first movie.
Yeah, for some fucking reason.
Some reason. And they find some video evidence and they link it
on YouTube.
On YouTube.
And it's basically footage of the house. So they get in contact with the dude who uploaded the video. So they all go over to Burkittsville. And they go to these two guys' houses. It's a girl and a dude, boyfriend and girlfriend, I guess. Skeezy looking like
Talia and Lane, I believe.
And they're just like weird. They just look like two weird people that like might be doing questionable drugs in a small town. Like that's the kind of vibe they give off.
Yeah, and it was upsetting because I was like, oh, these people seem cool, and then they had a Confederate flag on their door or on their wall or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah.
It's like maybe not.
Even then, and then the two black characters look at each other like, But one of the characters, Peter, he's actually, I don't remember the actor's name, but I think his name is Peter in real life too. He's in the last season of Channel Zero with the little magic door.
We're talking about Peter, yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon Scott.
Oh, that's his real name. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so that's the only person I can recognize from this movie. So you got Peter, you got Ashley, who's his girlfriend, I think.
Yes, I believe so. And then you got James and Lisa.
Lisa!
Aren't dating, but they have chemistry.
Yeah, they do. They do have chemistry.
There's a lot of scenes like, she's in my tent, but like, she just got here. It's like, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Just bang your friend.
Look around.
You're in the haunted forest.
Nobody cares.
You're in a haunted forest. You better fuck now before you die, bro.
Some could call it an enchanted forest.
Enchanted, I don't know. That sounds like magically like positive.
Yeah.
This shit
no,
is like
it is
magically unpositive.
magically negative.
Yeah.
It's magic positive, but cheerful negative. Anyway, I don't know why I keep talking about this, but
So
they get out there, right?
Yeah.
And like every other Blair Witch, they get to a certain part of the forest and they're like, all right, time to camp. And I did skip the part where
Ashley breaks her foot, or she
cuts the
bottom of her foot,
arch
because
of
they
her
have
foot.
to like go through a river, and she like she slices her foot on a rock, and it's not just like a little thing; it's like long, like right on the bottom of her foot.
Talking deep inches.
And honestly, like if that was me, I'd be like, okay, fuck this.
Turn it
Let's
around.
Go home, because I have to walk for how many? Who knows long?
Who
They don't
knows?
even have like a set plan.
No.
They don't know where they're going. Like, we have a GPS. I'm like, why does that matter if you don't know where the fuck you're going?
A GPS to where?
I don't know. We're just gonna walk around.
Well, okay, hold on. They assume that Lane and Talia know where they're going.
Oh, that's right.
But they're not the ones with the GPS, so I don't know what the GPS is.
And like, why are you gonna trust like two randos that uploaded a YouTube video?
Yeah, they're not really credible sources other than the fact that they like are interested in the lore of these woods and the lore of the Blair Witch.
Right.
But they're not experts on any of
They don't even have a fucking EVP reader, bro. Like, what the
No,
fuck?
how are they gonna get the bleeps? How are they gonna figure out if it's cold in some areas? Hot spots,
They need a
cold
spirit
spots,
box, bro.
ectoplasm. Come on, something.
They
Throw us
should
a
have
bone.
had Zach Baggins go.
Yes, they should.
Also,
Zach Bagans.
maybe if you're gonna be in the woods where you have to walk for miles a day, not knowing where the fuck you're at, rent some fucking like 4-wheelers or something. You know, like
No, I mean they're not on like trails, like thick trails. I mean, I see what you're saying, but all right, if I'm just being practical here, there's no trails for those 4-wheelers to be
it's
on.
fine. They'll just rip through the fucking shit.
Okay. I mean, well, they could have just got a helicopter and done like an aerial search.
Right. They could all put their money together. And since they're looking for a missing person, they could have got like financial backing for a fucking helicopter ride.
Well, I feel like I don't know why I'm playing devil's advocate so much right now, but I'm going to. I feel like most law authorities would be like, hey, dude, she's dead. Like, she's dead.
But they could find her bones,
She's not coming
bro.
back.
People like closure. They like to find bones. I bet you
Are the bones their money? Are the skeletons going to pull their hair up but not out?
Fuck. Yeah.
No, I get you.
I'm just trying to like make
their lives easy. You want them to have
I want them
smooth
to
ride.
find the bones and have a fucking like proper funeral service for
Right.
Heather, that dumb bitch.
Idiot.
And also, like, you were 4 years old when she died. Why are you so invested? Like, not to be bogus, but like, you didn't. How much of a connection did you have? And she was in college, so that means you probably never saw her.
You'd think the parents would care about this more than the kid.
Right? They never show the parent. Whatever. It's a fucking movie.
I mean, hey, we're ripping into the like specific setup of the movie, but I think what we're getting at is the execution, though. However, is
yeah.
nice.
It's everything is pretty, and like how we have that complaint about why are they still filming?
Right. Well, in this case,
This one they're making a documentary.
they're making a doc. They all have these like what look like little Bluetooth speakers on their ears, like the old school like clip-on dingly boys. And but they're cameras. So like I think that's a big part of why they're still recording, because they're not actively thinking about
It's just
I'm holding this camera.
It's like an earpiece GoPro.
Exactly.
Which I did not know existed.
No, dude. I mean, it probably could exist, but those straight up looked like 1990s, or not even 1990s. I guess like 2005 Bluetooth headsets.
You're fired, Steve.
Doesn't matter.
You're fucking fired. Just some guy in a suit. Yeah. I'm just ripping fucking Freddy Got Fingered off right now, actually. But he's using like a big brick phone for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. It's what bigwigs use.
Yeah.
But point being, in most found footage scenarios, they would have dropped that camera hours ago,
Right.
and just been like, well,
It's
fuck
like
that.
Yeah, I'd rather like survive than show this to my class.
Yeah, fuck that.
Next
Fuck that.
semester.
Survive first, film later.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's just attached to them, and they do have like a drone and like a couple of nice cameras, but they kind of stop using those later. Well, I guess they use Lane's camera up until the very end of the movie.
Well, a lot of it they use it too for light source, as well.
Oh yeah, there's like a flashlight attached to one of the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they all set up camp, and Ashley, for some reason, is like, "This is fine. I'm like fucking dying because my shit's infected, but I'll just like not request to leave at all.
I'm good.
That's fine. You guys just eat your hot dogs and your fucking beer, and then I'll just like be dying in my tent, bro." And then they all go to sleep and they wake up and it's like the Blair Witch one with the fucking cross people hanging from the trees, like
Stick
the
boys.
stick boys.
And it's like 3 p.m. or something like that. Like
Yeah.
they slept in all day. And
Yeah.
they're like, how?
How do we do? And also then they're like, okay, well I guess let's pack up and start walking. How far are you gonna get at 3 p.m.? Just fucking stay there another night.
Yeah, you gotta stay there another night for sure. Yeah.
Idiots. And then they find out that
Lane
and
Talia.
Lane and Talia actually made the stick guys. And they're like, "Why are you trying to fuck with us?" It's like, it's true. We lied so that you would believe us.
Yeah. We faked it because it's true. And it's like, don't fake it. Because Lane and Talia, they came along so that they could get footage, for like shock footage. Like,
Right, for their YouTube channel.
Yeah, they wanted to essentially make a Blair Witch movie. Or at least, yes, YouTube shit. And but there's still creepy stuff. Like they still definitely slept in till 3
For like no reason.
No raisins.
And then they're like, "You know what? Fuck you, Lynn, you fucking weird looking fucking Screech motherfuckers." Like,
Yeah.
they start fighting, and then
Peter almost whoops his ass.
yeah, I was like, "Whoop his ass, Peter."
But he's Lane's scared. He's like, please, I really don't want to be in these woods by myself. Please.
They're like,
let me
"Well, you
stay."
should have thought of that before you fucked with us by making scary ass stick people." And then they're like, "Fuck off, get out of here, go home.
fired.
You're fired." So then they fuck off, and then they're like, "All right, let's keep walking for some fucking reason instead of just staying here."
And they walk until way past dusk.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
like dark
again, you guys are
and-
idiot campers. Like, what's going on here?
And then this shit gets turned pretty quickly.
Turned?
Yes.
Oh yeah. We crank up the dial. We crank the dial.
It's like all the way to 11.
It's like, well, couldn't you just make 10 as loud as 11? Yeah, but this movie goes to 11.
So dumb. Fucking.
Keeping up to date with
Yeah.
Spinal Tap references, everybody.
So fucking cool.
You come to Double Screecher for hot topics and Spinal Tap jokes. We ran out of hot topics, and we already did a Spinal Tap joke.
But we could do hot topic jokes. The store.
And then I got a studded belt. I wanted to sing like an emo person, and then I just didn't.
And then I got a studded belt.
Yeah.
That I wore with the buckle to the side.
Oh, I forgot about the side buckle
Yeah.
shit. Why was that a thing?
Because it was cool, bro.
Can I start doing that?
I
with
was
the
about to
dress
say I'm
belts?
going to bring that back.
With like a belt buckle too. Like you got a big belt
Dude,
buckle.
I had a
to the
fucking
side.
gigantic bat symbol belt buckle.
Yeah.
I was really cool.
I had a.
When people saw me, they were like, "Oh, they like Batman." See?
There we go.
That's
I
all
had
you
a-
need. You
I had
know
a
everything
peace
about
frog,
me.
A peace frog.
Oh, that's kind of cool though.
It was sick, dude. It was like like enamel pins.
Yeah.
It was like an enamel.
Yeah, that's how my Batman. It was like
Yeah.
a Spencer's one. You know, they had like a whole ass
dude.
rack.
This shit was expensive. And then some dickhead at a party, like, I left it there or something, and he never let me come get it.
Because he was using it. He's like,
if-
man, this peace frog.
If I could remember his name, I would say it out loud and rat his bitch ass out.
It was.
Oh, I remember it. I'm not going to do it.
Oh.
I'm not going to do it. I don't want to be that petty, but you know who you are. You know who you are, and I want that belt back.
Bitch.
This was 15 years ago. Anywho,
Yeah.
so they walk all day, and they essentially walk back to their campsite on accident.
Yeah,
Or
they're like, what the fuck? We've been walking in circles.
this ain't make no sense, governor.
Governor. And then they're like, okay, well, fuck it. I mean, I guess if we walked in a circle, that's fine. Let's just camp. And I'm like, you should have just stayed there, bro.
Literally.
Like, you could have guys, so stupid. So then they stay there again. And who leaves first? Peter goes to take a piss.
Yes, and a tree falls on him. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so he hears this part's pretty scary. Like, it's just like a bunch of crazy noises, and he's like, and he's like, don't come any closer, I got my dick out. And then yeah, like a tree falls on him, and they can hear him for a minute, but then they never find him.
Yeah, he is not to be found. Pretty much not to be found.
And then Lane and Talia, they show up. They're all fucked up. They're all muddy. They're like, it's
a trick. It's a lie. They're not real. Don't look at them.
Talia's like, give me some fucking food. And then they're like,
how long has it been?
They're like, it's been, this is the second day we've been here. They're like, to us, it's been fucking 5. And then Lane's like, I don't trust this. I'm leaving. And then Talia's like, well, fuck you. So then she stays with them because she's smart. She's like, all right, Lane, bye. She's like freaking out. Meanwhile, Ashley is in her tent and her foot is fucked up, bro.
So bad. There's like a worm in it or something.
Yeah, like the cut.
It's great. You can see some like blur, 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 blur.
That part made me so. It's just like, not only is a cut foot fucking gross to look at, it's all like infected. And the fucking worm comes out of it. And, like, there's a part where she, like, pokes it and, like, a bunch of blood spurts out. Ugh.
So nasty. Ugh. Oh, and during all of this, there are now more and more elaborate stick figures everywhere.
There's, like, 100. And they're like, holy shit.
And so Ashley, like, hears all this, like, hubbub. And this is the best part of the whole movie. Ashley's like, you know what, Talia, fuck you and your stupid boyfriend got us into this mess, and takes the stick figure from Talia, which is made partly out of her own hair.
And she's like, it's made out of my hair. It's made out of my hair.
And she goes, crunch, and Talia breaks in half, bro. She literally, they show it verbatim, just sandwich folded.
Yeah, like backwards. Like, not forward, backwards. So she's laying on the floor, and she's like, that part was the best part.
It's crazy.
And then everyone's like, oh my God. So they just start fucking running. Because, all the tents just go, they get pulled up out of the fucking ground. Ah! It's so scary. It's so good. I was like,
it's epic as fuck.
Yeah, it's really good. I was like pleasantly surprised with the scares in this movie when I went to go see it in the theater.
Oh, yeah. This, again, movie good and scary.
Yeah. And I just like to pick fun at stupid shit because I love talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, what else are we going to talk about? This movie.
It's a good movie. What did you like about it?
And we just say it for 30 minutes. It was so good.
Wow, yeah. I had extra buttered popcorn at the theater. How about you, Dakota?
Well, I had a mellow yellow and some milk duds.
What did you think about those? Yeah, dude, that part was dope. By this time, Peter's gone.
Yeah.
Talia's fucking snapped in half.
Yeah.
Which is the worst way to die.
Gotta be the worst. Lane's missing. He still
ran
off in the woods.
Yeah. Then we have
James and Lisa and Ashley.
Yeah, so they're all running. Ashley gets separated from them. And now her leg is fucked. She like looks at it again. It's like spreading up her leg. And like more worms come out of it. And I'm just like, this whole time I was gagging.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
It's gross. And then she's like, every time that like, because it hurts her when she walks, you hear like this horrible crunch noise. Like it sounds like she broke her foot. And she's like,
it sounds like she's walking on like wet cabbage and sticks at the same time.
Yeah.
It's very gross. Yeah, bud. I love it.
So then she's all like, fuck, my leg's all crunchy. And my leg. And she doesn't know what the fuck to do. So then they had lost the drone earlier because it like died. I don't know. It stopped working, so it fell into a tree. So she finds the drone. She's like, bro, if I get that drone out of that tree, I can fucking use it, and I can find my way out of this forest by like looking over the treetops. And this dumb bitch is like, it's really dark. I have no light source.
And my foot's broken.
And my foot is crunchy and broken. So I'm going to climb this tree.
Seems legit.
Yeah. And this part, like, yeah, you watch her climb the shit and...
really nice tree.
Yeah.
You commented on that.
Yeah. I've never seen a tree that had basically ladder branches.
Yeah.
Made it really... Like, if I was in the woods and it was a big fucking tree and there was a drone stuck in it, I'd be like, all right. Guess that drone's not mine ever again.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna climb a fucking tree.
And it's dark, dude. It's dark. What is she expecting to see?
Yeah, can't she wait? I would I would just sit next to the tree.
Oh wait, I actually commented on this while we were watching the film. She was probably making sure that the drone didn't die because it was on in the tree.
Don't you think you'd be able to turn it off on the app on the phone?
Probably.
Dumb bitch. Whatevers. And
so she climbs up, obviously falls out of the tree.
No, she made it. She got to the drone, she took it out, and then she just jumped down and she was like, cool, and then she got out of the woods.
Happily ever after. Oh no, you see a hand swoop down from above and go and like kind of like fuck with her, and it scares her out of the tree, and she
falls and dies.
And gets like dragged away really fast.
Yeah. So that was scary. Then Lisa's like hyperventilating. She's like, oh my god. And then James is like, Lisa, you're tearing me apart, Lisa. No, but he's like, come on, Lisa, just breathe. Come on, you can breathe me. And like the way that I like the way this was filmed too, because it's a view of the douchebag earpiece camera. Mm-hmm. So like their faces are like super into each other. So they just like cut back and forth of them like holding each other like. I thought that was really cool. It reminded me of like it wasn't as epic as the popular famous scene of Blair Witch Project when she's like,
oh no,
but
it
kind of reminisced a little bit.
Yeah, totally. And then we end up. Hold on, 1 second. Yeah, okay. So basically, at that point, they find the house. That not like where actually I meant to do some research on whose house it was. It's either like the killer's house or the witch's house.
I think it's supposed to be the killer's house because they were saying that they burnt down the killer's house, but like this forest is magical. Doesn't make any sense. Enchanted, right. Positively enchanted, and that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
So like nothing makes sense in this time. Because also, the house is located next to a tree that was hit by lightning. That as soon as they walk into the forest, that's the first tree they see, and they commented on it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that tree is there, same one from the beginning, but
now a
whole
house.
Ass house next to it.
Right. So they're getting like pulled throughout the house via like seeing. Well, so what's his name? Sorry,
James.
James is running through the house thinking he's seeing his sister. Lisa ends up in the house a few minutes later thinking that she's getting chased by the Blair Witch.
What she sees in the forest that makes her run into the house because James is like, my sister's in there, man. It's like, bro, get over it. So he runs in there. It's the set piece house. Awesome.
Very creepy, cool house.
Very Silent Hill looking like... Mm-hmm. And everything's shot like POV while he's like running. And I was like, I would never fucking play this game if this was real. It was so like
it's very scary.
Like paneled like like walls where it's just 2x4s over and over again. Like there's no more like drywall or anything.
Just like the skeleton of the house.
Yeah. It's also like thundering, pouring rain outside, so you have like all this rain coming into the house. Mm-hmm. Super scary. They did a really good job on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was one of the scarier moments of the film for sure.
Yeah. So while because Lisa is fucking smart, And she's like, hey, you go and look for your sister. I'll stay out here and get fucking hypothermia. I'd rather die from that
in
than
the pouring rain.
Right. Like, I'd rather die of that than fucking get eaten by some crazy bitch. So she sees, like, it doesn't even look like a witch. It looks like a fucking alien. It's like huge.
It looks like Slender Man or something.
Like naked Slender Man.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck! So then she's like, oh my god! And so she's like, fuck this, I'll take my chances in the child killer house. So she runs into the house. She's like, James! She's like, what's the most logical place for me to go first? The basement! So she goes in there, and guess who's there? Lane.
It's Lane. It's Lane, bitch.
He comes out, he's all crazy. He's got like big, crazy hair. He's basically Lance from Ghost
Grave Encounters.
Grave Encounters too.
Yeah, he's like, I have to do what she tells me. I have to, and like basically what he's saying is like, I have to kill you as a sacrifice.
Right. It's literally the same plot as Grave Encounters too.
Yeah.
But he's been there for like a year or something.
A long time. I don't know if they explicitly say how long.
But he's like,
time.
yeah, his hair is long. He's all fucking crazy. He throws her like in an Evil Dead cell. They're like, throw you. And then she's like, fuck. So then she's like, fuck. So she sees like a little hole. She's like, I'm going to crawl through this fucking hole.
Yeah.
And so she's crawling. This is probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, it's very iconic for this film for sure.
It just gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Like in the Willy Wonka, it's like the Willy Wonka door.
Come on in, it's your master bedroom.
So she gets through it, and it like, after being like scared by like spooky stuff, she gets through it and is like greeted right again by Lane.
Yeah.
Who she then
stabs in the throat.
Yeah.
I did like while she's in this, like she almost gives up because she kind of gets stuck, but then she does that breathing exercise that James had showed her earlier.
Yeah,
so I thought
yeah.
that was really cool.
A nice little throwback for sure.
Trollback from the throat.
Throwback. So let's we've kind of fast forward a bit to the end of the film where now both of our heroes are up in the attic staring into a corner. Just kind of like the first one.
Because if you don't see her, then you don't get killed by her. And also while this is happening, there's like huge beams of light just going into the house. Like,
it's a really cool touch.
Yeah. Like, why is there lights there? That's crazy. And so they're all there. And then you see that big Slender Man again. And right before they go into the attic to do, like, the same trope from the first one where, like, standing in the corner, she passes a mirror and she sees her own reflection. And it's the same footage that they saw on YouTube that made him go there in the first place. Whoa!
Yeah, it's crazy. Literally, the footage that James thought he was watching of his sister was Lisa the whole time.
It was Lisa.
So then they both get duped. Well, I kind of already spoiled it.
James gets duped because he's an idiot. He's the one who's like, close your eyes. Don't turn around. If you look at her, she can kill you.
Never let go.
And then you hear somebody go, James, it's me. Let me open my eyes immediately right after I said not to do that.
And yeah, he turns around.
And then gets marked. And then Lisa's like, you stupid son of a bitch. So then she's like...
She starts walking backwards, but with the camera so that she can like see behind her without actually looking, which I wouldn't even test that as a theory.
That happened in Bird Box to B.D. Wong, and he got fucking...
Oh, yeah, you can see the evil through cameras, which...
Yeah, in Bird Box, which I'm like...
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
That brings me to a good point, and I've asked this before. It's the same science. It's like, how come you can't see your reflection in a photo of a mirror? All right, let's say you go.
Oh, okay.
You go take a picture of a mirror. If I look at that picture, I should be able to see myself in the photo of a mirror. Why is it not as reflective when it's photographed?
I don't know, dude.
I know that's such a high thought. But
I can't. I think I understand. I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I mean, like you said, it's hard. Like
I know it's because the photo is just not as reflective as the image, but
because it's glass. Pictures of paper.
Well, yeah, but Everything else looks real. Think about it, folks.
Okay.
And while we're thinking about things, Karina, would you recommend this movie?
If you liked Blair, if you grew up with Blair Witch Project and you liked it enough, whatever. Maybe you just haven't seen Blair Witch Project in a long time. I feel like this is a good double feature to watch the first one and then the second one, or watch the second one or the third one. I mean, watch this one and then watch the first one.
Yeah, you could easily watch the first one and then the third one and not watch the second one if you really
you don't need
wanted
to watch
save
the second.
time.
Yeah. This one is like I wouldn't say it's like a masterpiece by any means, but for found footage movies and for scares, like we were screaming,
It's got some good jump scares for sure.
A lot of jump scares.
And the entire scene in the house at the end is nerve-wracking, even without jump scares. It's just scary. It's spooky.
Yeah.
So I would agree. You should definitely watch this. This one did cost money. I believe we rented it on Amazon Prime for like $3.
Yeah.
I'm sure
You could
eventually
probably find it at the Walmart dollar bin.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You could own it for forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Which, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was... I feel like... Yeah, because when I saw it in the theater, I was pleasantly surprised because I just went because it wasn't the plague, so I could just do things like that. But
you could just go see movies.
Yeah, you
then.
could just like, I don't have shit to do. I'll go see a shitty movie.
Yeah. Plus, this was 2016. The world was generally a slightly better place back then.
Yeah, you could like breathe without being scared. Like right now, we're sitting like 8 feet apart from each other.
It's a very if you watch the first live stream to this one, you'll notice that the setting looks a little different for both of us. That is so we don't look directly into each other's eyes, because if we do, we will become the Blair Witch potentially.
Yeah.
Thank you all for either joining the live stream or listening to us wherever you find podcasts. Go if you want to see more live streams. For now, they're still up on Facebook, facebook.com/DBL Screecher, I believe, or you can just search up Double Screecher in your Facebook search bar. We are on YouTube. We're everywhere.
Instagram. Yeah.
Double Screecher, at Double Screecher on Instagram. Follow us there for the most recent updates. It's usually where we post if we're going live.
And also, if you guys have movie suggestions or just the way we run the show, because this is always an ever-growing project. We do this for fun. We spend money to make this.
Yeah, this is not free. You could send us money if you want to.
Or give us tips so that more people will listen. Maybe you're like, dude, you guys just suck. Just quit. We'll be like,
well, that's...
we're
not going to listen to that. But if you have something constructive, you can shoot us an email at doublescreecher@gmail.com. We check that regularly. I believe it's attached to my phone.
Or if you know us personally, just fucking text us.
Yeah. All right, then. Well, thank you so much. We will see you in a week or two. Yeah, we'll be around, baby.
Yeah, baby.
We out here.
We out here.
But until then.
See you later, losers.